What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autotop.nl. My name is Max, and today we are taking a look at, well, a very special car. This is a Ferrari SF90 Stradale, and it is Ferrari's, well, one of the most revolutionary cars they've ever built to celebrate the 90-year anniversary of Scuderia Ferrari. SF90 was also the name of the Formula 1 car at the same time. This is the road car. They made a Spider of it as well, and an SF90XX, which for the first time in the XX program is a road legal car. You can also get an Assetto Fiorano pack, which means you get 30 kilos of weight saving and a lot more carbon, different dampers and stuff like that. But this is a lovely spec SF90 Stradale for sale at Thijs Timmermans. This is absolutely magnificent, this spec, in Tour de France blue. As you might know, we own a Ferrari 599 in this color. I absolutely love it, and today I'm going to show you around it. We'll take a look at all the design aspects, the technical aspects, the aero aspects of it, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. Now, as with most modern Ferraris, there's a lot of aero going on, but it's all hidden. Most of it is hidden anyway, and I really love that. You see that the design is based on aerodynamics, but it's kind of, you need to know where it is. So you can see an air intake here, which is super cool. Very aggressive headlights. It has like a wasp face, right? It's a little bit F8, slight LaFerrari front as well, with this vent here in the front. Super cool. More vents and radiators down there, and then we've got, I'm not sure if I can show you, yeah, so I hope that the camera picks that up, but you can see those vortex generators is what Ferrari calls it. You can see those fins underneath the car, and they direct air left or right or to the rear. And they've actually got a patent pending for that, which is super cool. So wheels, super classic design actually. This 5-spoke Ferrari wheel, 20-inch at the front. We've got 255 tires, and these are Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. Behind that, we've got carbon ceramic brakes, of course, with beautiful yellow calipers. Now, this is the first time Ferrari is using brake-by-wire, so there's no physical connection between the brake pedal and the actual brake system. And that's because you also have regenerative braking on this car. It's a hybrid, of course, and it's a plug-in hybrid even. So you have regenerative braking, and apparently the brake-by-wire system is the best way to kind of, yeah, let the regenerative braking and the regular braking work together. It's a very short pedal though, so yeah, it's quite a challenge, but once you get used to it, it's actually very nice, and braking performance is incredible. So since this is a plug-in hybrid, let's start with the front part of that. We've got electric motors on the front axle, one for each wheel, which means that you also have torque vectoring, and that is also the reverse gear. You've got a new dual clutch gearbox, 8-speed at the rear, but you don't have a reverse gear on that gearbox. The front electric motors, they do the reversing. So that's always electric, which is super clever, because that means that the gearbox at the rear is much more compact. It's 10 kilos lighter than the previous 7-speed, and shift speeds have increased by 30%. But it's such a clever way to try and improve on a concept that is super old, but still they find ways to optimize it. We've got 315s at the rear, also 20-inch, more air intakes here on the side, of course, with a radiator there, and then we've got some more aero. Now you can see these air vents basically here and there. You can see the gearbox behind it as well, which is there. Everything is open at the rear here, center dual exit exhaust, and then we've got hidden aero. So this, they actually have a patent pending for that as well. This part of the spoiler drops down if you need more downforce. So now this is like the low drag mode, so all the air goes over the roof and down the side and goes through the rear there. And the little Ferrari here has a support for its head, the horse face, and then this part goes down like that if you need more downforce, which is super cool. Now let's take a look at that engine. Of course, it's a Ferrari. They all do that. Don't worry. So this is another very special part on this car, because all the way down there, it's a long way, you can see a 4-liter V8 direct injection for the first time on a V8 Ferrari, on a Ferrari V8. Direct injection for the first time on a Ferrari V8, but you can see how low it is. It's almost basically on the ground. It's 50 millimeters lower than in an F8, which is quite incredible. And we've got a new intake and exhaust design. We've got an in-canal exhaust manifold. We've got a new head design, and that means that we have 780 horsepower from this 4-liter V8. It's basically an evolution of the engine you find in a 488 Pista or in an F8 Tributo, and it is just an incredible engine. It spools up so quickly, and to boot, it is 25 kilos lighter than the previous version of this engine. So yeah, improvements all around on an engine that was already pretty amazing. And if you combine this with the 2 electric motors, we've got a third one that sits between the engine and the gearbox. 780 horsepower from this engine, and then we've got 220 from the electric motors, so you have 1000 horsepower in total and 800 newton meters of torque. So that is pretty crazy. Now the front electric motors, they disconnect at like 130 miles an hour, so just over 200 kilometers an hour, and then you've got basically 1000 horsepower from these two units. Pretty crazy. Now, as we're used to from Ferrari, there are also a lot of electronics going on. So you have like slip control and angle control, and it has a very clever brain that needs to make sure that everything works together. So we have a little boot right here. The car cover is in there, and you can see part of the brain there for the electric motors, RACE. So that is actually rotation axis control electric, and this is part of the torque vectoring system. Now I'm going to put my jacket in here. You can see the specs here: blue to the fronts, blue sterling for the interior, which is also pretty crazy, yellow brake calipers, suspension lift, stitching on the headrest, Daytona racing seats, carbon racing seats, super cool with blue leather. Man, this spec is just amazing. Okay, there we go. So let's get in. Up. And there they are, Daytona seats with the horse on with the Ferrari badge on the headrest in blue leather. Super nice. And it's a very modern car actually. So you've got a screen in front of you. I've got an engine start stop button on the steering wheel. As you can see, car comes to life. And we don't have a mechanical rev counter anymore. This is the first time that Ferrari went for a digital version of the iconic rev counter. And then if we hit that button again, the car starts up in hybrid mode, so in electric mode basically. And then if you go to performance mode, it starts up. And then you've got eDrive right there, hybrid, performance, and this is qualifying mode. So this is basically attack mode. Let's start in performance mode. But yeah, the interior is very nice. It's actually, everything is on your steering wheel. Basically, meant to keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel. And, as soon as you get used to everything that's going on here, it's pretty much possible to do it blindly. So you really do have to get used to it, but once you do, it's perfectly fine. We've got the Manettino here for the traction control, so wet, sport, race, CT off, and then ESC off. Now we're going to start in race, and then we've got the gearbox operation here. So if I hit reverse, that's all electric, as I said, and then pull the pedal to go to front gears, forward gears. Okay, let's go for a little drive to see what it's all about. We've got column mounted pedals, but they are very large, so that means that you can pretty much always reach them, which is nice. So second gear. As you can hear, it's the Ferrari V8 sound that we've gotten used to. It's very flat. It's not the most emotional engine they've ever made. I mean, yeah, they've made some crazy, like, high revving V8s that sounded fantastic. This is not one of them. It sounds very efficient. It's just doing its job, and it does its job really, really well. We've got a tire pressure warning there, but don't worry, they are perfectly fine. But the engine combined with this hybrid drivetrain is crazy. It really is. The way this thing takes off is just incredible. It really is. It feels so immediate because you have that V8 with those turbos that they need time to spool up, but they don't even need that much time. So once you hit the accelerator, once you floor that pedal, it feels like they just respond immediately, both of them. So let's go to qualifying mode. This is your full attack mode. And this is basically the mode that is meant for deployment of full power of everything. So in performance mode, it's also geared towards charging up the battery. But in qualifying mode, everything is deployed at once, and you know, all the time. I mean, there are a lot of firsts on this car. First brake-by-wire, first fuel injection, first digital rev counter, first plug-in hybrid. But I mean, they've done an exceptional job as usual. So almost forgot launch control, so I'm going to get off here and show you guys when these cars pass me. Okay, so manual mode, let's do it on the straight here. Well, straight-ish. Manual mode, performance, and then we've got launch right there. Hit that button. Oh, man, even having an accelerometer here, down here, which is the footrest that pops out. But that is supposed to be 2.5 seconds, 0 to 100, which is so fast. Oh, there's a lot going on. I mean, it is quite a hectic driving experience because it's so fast and the shifts are so fast. Oh man, up until the very last rev. Look at it go. Oh, that's 328. So I think I tried to explain this a couple times already. I'm going to do it now. The car is like a brain, and it takes all the inputs from several parts of the car, like the high voltage part of the car, so the battery and stuff like that, the torque vectoring system, and the MGUK, so that's basically your drivetrain and electric motors and everything, gearbox, stuff like that. And it has to bring that all together to make sure that you have a driving experience that is as incredible as this. It also needs to protect you from this 1000 horsepower beast, because I've driven it in CT off mode, and when it unleashes all that power on the rear wheels, most of it, all hell breaks loose. So we're low speed now anyway, so let's do ESC off. I'll slow down a bit. Okay, third gear. After the bridge here. Third gear. Oh, it grips. Yeah, we've got hot tires now, of course, but it is an absolute beast, this car. And the way they've been able to marry everything together and make this something as manageable as it is now is just incredible. So top speed is 340 kilometers an hour, but as you can see, it's probably a bit too busy for that today. It's a Friday afternoon, so yeah. But you can see the urgency. I hope that this is visible in, on this video, that the urgency of this drivetrain, look at that gear shift. It's instant. There's no delay. And that was the case, I thought, with the previous one, with like the F8 Tributo. I already thought like it can't be any faster than this. And here we are, instant gear shift. So insane. Wow, what a car. I feel like how am I here already? How am I at the border already? This is incredible. Oh wow, what a car. SF90. As I said, a lot of firsts, but they kind of nailed them all. That brake pedal, by the way, is like, the travel is like that, but it means that once you get on it, it gives you so much confidence, because you're like, oh yeah, this is going to slow down sufficiently. Yeah, just incredible. I think my tires are a bit too hot, but yeah, it just grips. Wow. Oh, what a car. Thijs, thank you so much for allowing us to take it out today. Absolutely incredible car. This V8 combined with this electric drivetrain is just magic. And that gearbox is next level, out of this world. it did not disappoint. Hypercar performance for supercar money, especially in the Netherlands, because you have, you know, the tax break for being a hybrid. What a car. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video or this playlist. See you at the next one. Bye.